We're all looking for that magic bullet for a longer life, right? A pill, some crazy new tech. But what if I told you the real secret isn't in the future at all? It's a blueprint that's been around for centuries. Today, we're going to dig into how you can not just add years to your life, but, and this is the important part, add life to your years. Okay, so first things first, we need to talk about two really important words, lifespan and health span. They sound similar, but believe me, the difference between them is everything. It's really all about the quality of the years you're living. So here's the deal. It's kind of a weird paradox, right? We're living longer than any generation before us, which is great, but, and it's a big but, a lot of us are spending those extra years bogged down with chronic health problems. It makes you wonder, are we just stretching out old age, or are we actually living better? And that's where this distinction becomes so crucial. Your lifespan, that's just the total number on your birthday cake. Simple. But your health span, now that's the golden ticket. That's the number of years you feel great, you're active, you're free from disease. The goal here isn't just to have a long life. It's to have a long, healthy life. That's what we're aiming for.
So who's actually pulled this off? Who's cracked the code for a long health span? Well, to find out, we're going to take a trip, figuratively of course, to the islands of Okinawa in Japan. This place is world famous because it's packed with people who are not just living past 100, but they're thriving.
I mean, just look at these numbers. They're absolutely wild. The death rate from heart disease for men in Okinawa, it's almost 6 times lower than for men in the US. And for prostate cancer, it's a staggering 7 times lower. You see the same thing with women. This isn't just a fluke. Something very, very different is going on there.
And you might be thinking, oh, it's just good genes, but nope. Researchers have looked into it, and while genes play a part, the real secret is their lifestyle. And at the very heart of that lifestyle, it's what they eat. So let's take a look at their traditional food pyramid. The first thing you notice is, whoa, the base, the biggest part, isn't bread and pasta like ours. It's vegetables and fruits. Right above that, you've got things like legumes, think soy. And yeah, fish and meat are on there, but way up at the top in much smaller amounts. It's a plant-forward diet through and through.
And here's a super interesting detail that even surprised me. You think Japan, you think rice, right? Well, for traditional Okinawans, their main carb wasn't rice. It was the sweet potato. Yep, the humble sweet potato was the star of the show. But here's the sad part. This amazing way of eating is actually disappearing. If you look at this chart, after World War II, everything changes. The line for sweet potato consumption just falls off a cliff. And what replaces it? Rice and bread. Younger generations are unfortunately moving away from this incredible blueprint for health. So that leads to the million-dollar question, right? What is it about these foods, the sweet potatoes, the leafy greens, the soy, that's so incredibly powerful? Well, for that, we have to look at the science. Yeah, we're diving into the science of what are called functional foods. And this is where the line between food and medicine starts to get really, really blurry. So what are functional foods? Basically, they're foods that do more than just fill you up. They're not just about calories, protein, or carbs. They contain these amazing compounds that actually work in your body to promote health and fight off disease.
Okay, let's circle back to that sweet potato for a second. Its nutritional resume is just insane. Get this, a single serving can have almost 700% of your daily vitamin A, plus tons of vitamin C, manganese, fiber, and it's all packed into a pretty low-calorie food. It's a total powerhouse.
So what's actually going on inside the body when you eat like this? Well, on a cellular level, you're getting a flood of antioxidants that protect your cells from damage. You're getting anti-inflammatory compounds that help calm down the chronic inflammation that's linked to, well, almost every major disease. You're keeping your blood sugar stable because it's a low glycemic diet, and you're just getting more nutritional bang for your buck with every single calorie. And this isn't just theory. You can literally see the results in their biology. This chart is looking at a hormone called DHEA, which is a really good marker for how we're aging. And look at the difference. The line for Okinawans shows this really slow, gentle decline over the years, while the American line is much steeper. It's incredible. They're literally aging slower on the inside. Okay, so obviously we can't all just pack up and move to Okinawa, as nice as that sounds. But here's the really good news. The principles behind their health, they're universal. So let's talk about how we can create a blueprint that works for anyone, anywhere. Some brilliant researchers at Harvard did a massive study, looked at decades of data, and they managed to boil it all down to one single, incredibly powerful number. And that number is 14.
14, as in 14 years. That's how much longer you could potentially live. That's the life expectancy gap between people who followed 5 key healthy habits and people who followed none of them. I mean, think about that. 14 extra years. And what are these 5 magic habits? Well, spoiler alert, they're not magic at all. It's the stuff we kind of already know. Eating a healthy diet, getting some regular exercise, keeping a healthy weight, not smoking, and going easy on the alcohol. It seems so simple, it's almost boring, right? But the results are anything but. But let's bring it back to health span, because that's where the real payoff is. Check this out. For a woman who hits age 50 and adopts these habits, we're talking about an extra 10 years of life completely free from major disease. For men, it's about 7.5 extra healthy years. This isn't just about living longer, it's about living better for longer. It's a total game changer. All right, so let's pull all of this together. It's time to build your own personal longevity toolkit using all these amazing insights. So, for your diet, the lessons from Okinawa are crystal clear. Thing number 1, nutrient density. Get the most vitamins and minerals you can out of every calorie. 2, focus on carbs that don't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster. 3, eat the rainbow. All those different colored fruits and veggies are packed with antioxidants. And finally, make plants the star of the show on your plate. But you know what? A long, healthy life isn't just about food. The science is super clear on this too. Things like having a reason to get up in the morning, a sense of purpose, having good friends and family around you, keeping your brain challenged, and of course, getting good sleep, these are all absolutely essential pieces of the puzzle. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Your health span isn't something that just happens to you way down the road. You're building it, or frankly, draining it with every little choice you make today. So the question really isn't, what's the secret to a long life? We kind of know the secret now. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? What's the first thing you're going to add to your toolkit starting right now?